joining remotely from Houston, Texas, and talking about dedication and how Ifa Temple helps us with that dedication. Um, Ifa basically defines dedication as a commitment to someone or something, regardless of what is going on or what is happening outside of our lives, outside of that situation in which we are dedicated to. And so for me and for us as Ifa devotees, or those who are joining the live, and having an understanding, maybe you're new to Ifa, maybe you're contemplating, thinking about Ifa, what is Ifa? What is happening here? And so in that dedication, I know for me personally, it has been that standard rock for which I will come regardless when things are happening outside of my vicinity, or external things that are happening. And so I want to talk about an Odu. It is Irete Odi. And in particularly this dedication, or when we're talking about dedication, it is that it's the streamlining of events. I will say the streamlining of events that happen in order for us to achieve a desired result in that which we are looking for. And so in this particular Odu, it tells the Awo that early in the morning, we search for the chewing stick. So a little bit of background on that chewing stick is that in the Yoruba culture, back when, maybe before toothbrushes, but some still do it today, there is a chewing stick, and it's literally a stick that you chew on, and the purpose of chewing on it is to have fresh breath, clean your teeth, get all of the good from the in between your teeth. And so in this stanza, it tells the owl that early in the morning you search for this chewing stick, right? Because you done woke up, your breath might be a little tart. And so you search for this chewing stick early in the morning. And the next day you also search for the chewing stick. You use that chewing stick the next day. And then you follow up with gargling with water to kind of pull all of that, whatever you got going on with your teeth, to kind of pull that out. And I want to use that of searching for the chewing stick early in the morning, not in the afternoon, not at night, but early in the morning, using that chewing stick and then gargling with water, because there is a science to that, as we know. And so I'm thinking about things in my life that require a recipe, because that's one of the things in Ifa, like I mentioned, those who are watching, those who are coming in, one of the things that I love about Ifa coming to temple is that we get a recipe, we get a prescription, and we utilize temple, we utilize Ifa to follow that recipe for what we want in that intended end, resulting in that end. And in Ifa, it is our Ori, it is our destiny. Everyone has a destiny. So we want to know, what is the recipe? What is the prescription for us to get to that intended end, our destiny? What are we here for? Why am I here? And so I think the prescription from that Odu stanza is the chewing stick, when to look for the chewing stick, how to use the chewing stick, and what we do after we utilize the chewing stick. So I'm thinking about, I just ordered, because I said this year, 2024, I want to come into 2024 and I want to be organized. I want to start, I'm pretty organized, but I just want to, I want everything to look pretty. I want to put things on this shelf. So I ordered this shelf. And it did not come already assembled. I would have wished that it was already assembled, but it just didn't come already assembled. And so my husband, he jumped in and he's assisting. And so what he did first is he took each part that related to the next part and he separated them out. Now, to the naked eye, anybody that's coming in, I'm like, I'm trying to organize. I'm not trying to make more of a mess. Like, what you got going on over here and over there and over there and over there. But when I came in closer, I noticed that there were similar parts, same parts in this section, other same parts, like parts in this section, and so forth and so on. And then I started to get a little impatient, because I'm like, I feel like this shelf should be put together like quickly so I can start, you know, putting my stuff on it. But he has this pamphlet, this book, and what do you know? It's the instructions. So we have everything that we need to build this shelf, but he still needed the instructions in order to assemble the shelf.
Sure.
Why am I bringing that up? Why is this relevant? How is this relevant? Because I don't know if you guys have had this experience, right? Where we're impatient, and I feel like I could have put that shelf together faster without the instructions. But I personally have experienced where I done went and I done did step 1 and step 4, thinking I'm gonna hurry up and put it together, and it just didn't work out like that. Because when I look back and I'm like, well, why is this shelf lopsided? Like, what's happening? Like, what's happening here? Why it looks so crazy? Well, I did not do steps 2 and step 3. I went step 1 and skipped to step 4, which now caused me to have to take it apart and go back and follow it step by step by step by step. Why am I saying this? Because without the prescription, when we choose, like in the Odu, if we choose not to follow that prescription, we can invite chaos into our lives. Temple is that solid rock, right, that keeps us coming back to the prescription. And so I want to leave this part of the talk with temple, community, doing things in the order of the prescription so that we can invite Ire or blessings into our lives and not invite chaos, especially as we go into the Western New Year of 2024. And so we want to remain dedicated. And so I think that's kind of where I'm going to stop, Iya, if you're okay with kind of coming in. I think that's a great segue into what you have to talk about next. Ashe, Aboro Aboye.
Thank you. Yeah, that was beautiful. It certainly speaks to the most important parts of Ifa, which is dedication really means patience, taking those steps, those methodical steps in order to get to your destiny. So I wanted to give Iya Justyce, just ask her a few questions about how Ifa Temple has supported you before we get into kind of the sermon.
So Ifa Temple has helped me, like Ifamodupe mentioned. It's kind of like that guiding light in a sense, because going to temple and just Baba Amos, just who he is, his demeanor, he embodies those qualities of Oloye every day, all day. It's not like a front. It's not like, that's who he is. And so that's a reminder to me to also embody those same qualities.
Okay.
It's a good reminder when I'm around other like-minded people in temple. It's a good reminder of like where I'm going and where I'm headed and what I'm trying to do. So of course we're all here to realize our destinies. We're all here for a purpose. And sometimes we forget it, or sometimes we get caught up on these earthly things, paying bills, this and that, and we kind of forget our purpose, or we don't remember why we're here. We're here for a reason. We're not just here to pay bills. We're not just here to work. We're not just here to that kind of thing. We're also here to realize a destiny, to learn lessons and that type of thing. So I think that temple is, again, that guiding star. It's a good reminder. It's nice to be around like-minded people. Sometimes I am worldly, if I could say that. Sometimes I'm too caught up in this world, like my parents, my this, my that, and I lose my connection to my Ori and to Odewale. But going to temple and being around a good spiritual community and good spiritual people and people that fill me up makes me feel happy and more fulfilled than making money or going to work and things like that. And I think that's what temple serves for in my life.
Okay, thank you for that. So everyone in the chat, if you can just quickly in the chat, just put some messages in, kind of just to say like, how has temple like really helped you in your life? That'd be great for us.
Sure.
So what we want to talk about first this concept of greatness, because I know some people may have the question, what does greatness have to do about this? Like, why are we, talking in such exaggerated terms? Like, human beings are human beings. We know that we're not great. So I wanted to kind of define from the perspective we're talking about greatness for you all. And so when we talk about greatness, what we're saying is that greatness is when a person is achieving or being successful in different areas of their life. And so what that means that they have the desire, right, to excel. They have a desire towards self-development. They have a desire towards being the best person that they can be. And so when we talk about Ifa Temple making us great, essentially what we're saying is ways in which Ifa Temple can help us to achieve our goals, help us to be successful in our endeavors, no matter what those endeavors may be. It can be our family relationships. It can be our work relationships. It can be our personal relationships, our how we treat ourselves. So when we talk about achieving goals, we come to Ifa Temple to learn for self-development. In order to have that greatness, you have to be able to achieve and accomplish your goals. So Iya talked about dedication as being one of those important Omoluabi traits that we need to embody in order to get to greatness.